Before we begin the PowerPoint, we strive for flexibility. And we had 3 different ways of introducing ourselves, because it's really important that you know who we are. Okay. And what I'm going to ask you in just a few minutes is, I'm going to briefly introduce and tell you why and how we became the Brooklyn Five, and then you'll see some additional information. As we speak, we're going to be showing a PowerPoint that just goes through how we've evolved over time and how we've stayed together. So out of 271, the pride that came from attending also brought, and I say 5, and y'all saying, there's only 4. Did they miss Charlie Isaac's math class? And the reason I say that is because the 5th one is going to be on the screen. We are currently working on a book together called The Brooklyn Five Storytellers, and we are also working on a documentary. And so we have video clips, and we've edited a video clip and embedded it so that she can participate. And that's who you'll be hearing from in just a few minutes. So we weren't like the Danbury Five, right? We didn't commit any crimes, and therefore we were in jail together at Attica, even though many of us did go to those demonstrations and, you know, participated in not just that fight that started at 271, but continued. So when we started telling our stories, we realized we were always coming together. This is our 50th year anniversary knowing each other, all 5 of us. And so that's what prompted us to write the book. And we managed to stay together. And wherever we go together, people, it's like we're walking on this cloud, because we have all this energy and love. And that love started at 271. So even though we're going to talk about the struggles, even though we just saw how bad it was, as researchers have identified, it's the relationships that you forge along the way that help bring into womanhood and help heal those wounds, those that started in the communities, those that started in the homes, and those that resulted from the educational system. All right, so my name is Sonia Cotto Marino, and I am a dietitian. I actually live in Texas. After me, you will be hearing from Sophia De Silva. She is a jewelry maker, caterer, inventor. We have so many titles. You'll see a current theme. She's an artist. She lives in California, and you'll be hearing from her in just a few minutes. She'll be followed by Sonia Cotto, and oh my God, wait till you see her artwork. We have some artwork so you can see. Not to mention, she's also a writer and a poet and an inventor. Also amazing. Then you're hearing from Veronica G., another incredible artist, spiritual person, just one of the rocks of our relationship. And then we'll be ending with Monifa Edwards, who we call her the glue. She's the glue. She's the glue because she's the one who kept us all together at these 50 years. And it started with her. And so, sorry. I promised I would wear my sunglasses so you wouldn't see me crying, but it's okay. All right, so let's get started here. Okay, so we call each other the Brooklyn Five. You see this is a map of 271, and we started coming together to discuss all of these issues and all the fear that we had during our trying to get to school after the first year. We have a picture of Charlie Isaacs there, but it was very tumultuous walking up to school and seeing all this violence and seeing people so angry. And you'll hear a little bit more about that as we go along. And I was one of those that lived the farthest away from the school. And That's my picture down there on the screen. And I had a 12-block walk. And I was I was the only girl out of 6 brothers, and it was a very sheltered life. So the truth is, when I read Charlie's book, I'll tell you honestly, I was kept from school. They didn't want me to go because after the first time the riots occurred, my brother was hit in the back with a 2x4 because we were Puerto Rican. And even though I'm considered one of the darkest ones in my family, he was lighter than me. He was the one who got some violence. And so they wouldn't let me back. And I missed out on a lot of school. But one of the things that I did get when I went from Charlie and from Brother McFadden and Brother Clark was this sense of identity. It wasn't until after I did my 23andMe that I realized how much African blood I do have in me. But there was something, some pride. It didn't matter what color you were, they instilled pride in you. And that was the beauty of the message, right? It was giving you pride in who you are. Figure out who you are and be proud of it. Don't let what you see in front of you, and don't let the curriculum, and don't let these things that try to define you be the ones that stop you from achieving your goals, right? That was the overarching theme, right? So I realized I was a bit of a nerd. I was actually reading the 12th grade level when I was in 6th grade. Because I wasn't let outside much, I spent most of my time reading. As a result, that's one of the things that brought us together. We were all nerdy, well-spoken, Black and Puerto Rican women, and other people were uncomfortable around us sometimes, but we found each other, and that was what brought us and kept us together all this time. And I'm very proud of this relationship, and I went on and got a master's in public health. I then found out I was just telling Charlie, I actually found out after I read Charlie's book that my mother was one of the first Puerto Ricans who was on, she says it's the Board of Education. She's 86 years old now, but she was the community organizer, and I didn't even know it. I didn't know about any of that until I went to high school, and she actually, and that's a picture of her there, until I read Charlie's book, and I said, Mom, what did you know? She said, oh, I was on the board. Oh, what? You know, she was just that giving person, and that gave me the strength to continue fighting. And I was, she was the one that drove Monife and I to the New Jersey Turnpike, and we stopped traffic on the Jersey Turnpike during the Vietnam War demonstrations. So she was actually the one militarizing me, which was kind of strange, instead of it being the other way around. But she made me a very caring, loving person, and I've worked with migrant Head Start programs in 7 states across the country, and I know how much education doesn't meet our needs. And you'll hear a little bit more about the impact that's had on all of us. And so you see, we've been together many, many years, and we've done many things trying to keep our story alive. And I think now we're willing to commit it to paper.